Welcome back to the Tygon and Pebbles channel. This is Tygon, Papa Tygon, aka Tigon. And we're back to this lovely, beautiful day. It is Tuesday the 22nd of February. It feels like March, but then at the same time it feels like January. This year is going by quick. Definitely the first quarter. And here we are. So, 4th month, baby milestones, tools, and parental experience overall as a health or emotions and feelings. So, we'll kick it off right away. Let's see. Things that I would like to highlight, the milestones. So, as you can see, a baby at this point in time, they've already progressed. However, not all babies progress like others do. So if you're concerned of certain things, it's always good to talk about it. It's always good to make research and or ask a loved one or a parent or a professional. But in our experience, baby Pebbles has definitely been on her back more than being on her tummy. Now, tummy time is very essential, so therefore try to practice it as much as possible. She does have a little ball spot in her back of her head, and that's due to mainly being on her back most of the times. So she's not really settled with being on her tummy. But at the moment, we're working little by little. It's been a slow process, I guess you can say. But slowly but surely, we've been getting to that point where she needs to start also. It's okay for her or the baby to be fuzzy, but at the same time, you also need to highlight that as much as possible because you want to get them, in their development stage. Now, some babies are late bloomers. Some babies do lack certain motor skills. So not every baby is perfect. But, for the most part, we do our best as parents. And we try to practice that. Now, today I did do that. Today is already into her 6th month, I believe. And I'm getting in the habit of understanding my baby. But for the month of the 4th month, we're trying to catch up, and therefore this is why I'm explaining that. And she still is having that issue. She gets grumpy, she gets upset, but we just still try to practice as much as possible, even though she doesn't like it. So you might find the same experience as well. Now, with the milk and with the formula, at the moment that's something that we are discussing, but it's an ongoing topic that we are considering. So at all times I feel like you need to try to converse and find solid ground as to what is best for the baby or for the mom. Another definitely milestone is the sleep regression and how they feel. And not all babies do tend to want to go to sleep or tend to really like to be put to sleep when they're overexhausted. So something that to consider is if they are put to sleep, you might find yourself having to put a pacifier or try to eliminate the pacifier. It might be confusing and it might sound confusing, but at one point you want to lay off in giving the pacifier for too long or for too much. You don't want them to rely also on the excuse or the reason is to have them be quieted or for them to soothe themselves at one point and then just rock themselves to sleep or sway themselves to sleep. If you're present, then just your presence alone can make up for the pacifier. So the pacifier doesn't need to be the reason or excuse for you to silence them or to put them to sleep or to force them to feel like the pacifier will have control over their emotions and feelings, and that's not the case. That's not why the pacifier is mainly used. So the biggest highlights for a pacifier is to help you get them into it, and then for them to just give up and freely or openly just decide to transition into the deep sleep or into the night, or get to a point where you feel that the baby needs help. And it's very surprising how, as a parent, certain things can work. And sometimes for me as a father, what has helped is putting my hand over her chest, singing her a lullaby. You'd be surprised the lullaby that I'm singing, and I'll share this with you. It's a Christian song that I have learned when I was an adult, or as a child, but overall a song that has out of the blue, something that was just taught to me as a child, and I adopted it. And the hymn and the sound of it and the tone is so soothing to me that I picked that one. And it is Spanish, so therefore the original author / writer was made it meant to be in Spanish. So therefore, I think there is an English version, but I haven't heard it, or I haven't found it. But I think I've heard the English version. So with that said, the Spanish version was just the one to go to because she's learning Spanish, and for me it was just like, okay, this message is really deep, and when she grows up, she's gonna understand that the message is very, very conscious, brings you to mind that we are all lost sheep and we need our shepherd. And it's a really sweet song. But I hum it, as you can say, but I don't sing it as much as I should. However, I did find the second lullaby / song that I will be singing to her, and eventually I'll share that with you later, maybe once she progresses a little more. But eventually I'll switch to that one at a specific time during the day or in her naps. Maybe only on the daytime, and then the nighttime switch to the other one. So that's for the baby milestones. For the tools, as I've addressed before, there's many tools and there's many brands. And at this stage right now, we are definitely relying more on the baby cam, and we've gotten some hiccups with it due to the wavelengths and the internet and the disruption with connection and the Wi-Fi, or as they say, Wi-Fi. You might run into a situation where your Wi-Fi is specifically down or not loading or a little slow. But just check your settings, check the manual, read it, check the online, what Google or Yahoo or what DuckDuckGo says, and I'm sure you'll find a solution to that. However, if you buy a good quality that highlights that specific downfall with the internet and the Wi-Fi and disruption, that will take care of that issue. So I used my data, so therefore I upgraded. I didn't want to, but I did. Therefore, I still also have my data just in case as a backup, and we feel secure in monitoring the baby and making sure that she's okay and everything's fine. But for the most part, you're looking at about 4 naps and 4 feeds throughout the day at this point in the 4th month. It can it could be a little more depending on the baby's development or her increase, I think at this point I can't say that we are all right, but essentially a baby will let you know and notify you. So, and you also should watch the signs for the hunger and for the sleep. So, and saying that, that's the baby cam. The stroller has helped us out a lot, and also the cover for the rain. Now, maybe that's not something that you want to be hearing right now, especially in the 4th month, but for those that are parents and for those that understand what it means to commute or to walk in the rain, you would appreciate definitely having a tool that helps out. So for us, we got a specific screen, a plastic screen. that covers the baby and the stroller from the rain. So if you look into buying a stroller, look into definitely getting a piece included, which is the plastic cover for the rain. And with that said, let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's multiple tools that everybody needs, but not every tool is gonna be for everybody. So therefore, those are just those tools that I just mentioned. Parental and mom, dad, single parent emotions and feelings and experiences. This I want to highlight a lot. As the baby's growing, you're gonna be noticing that as the baby's progressing and you're doing your work, it'll pay off. However, there will be some setbacks where you're gonna have to find yourself needing to be a parent and prioritize your baby versus other priorities in life. And sometimes that can come in the form of over communicating, and definitely essentially being there for your child. Now, because we live in a world where everything's also revolves around the economy, not everybody's economy is strong or well suited. So what I mean by that is sometimes you might see yourself using your specific personal time to dedicate that time to the baby. Now, I myself have excused myself for some of them, and that's due to the fact that I have to be the provider, also the second provider and the first provider, and also as well, I feel like at times when it's necessary, I do use my wild card, as you can say. But overall, I try to communicate and I try to be there. If not in FaceTime, in person as well. So meetings, appointments, vaccines, you're going to have to delegate that and come to common ground. Now, if you do and can communicate that with your priorities or your responsibilities as an adult, you will eventually find a time where you can definitely make that work. Now, in advance, if you can ask for the appointments to be on specific time frames for you, that would work a lot, and that would help you out a lot, tremendously a lot. But overall, as my emotions and feelings, I'm in love with my child, and I didn't see myself being at this point in my life, but I knew that eventually I would give in, and I would be, as they say, a little softy ice cream. But yeah, then you become much more hard as a parent. So just keep that in mind. It's not something that makes you weak. Well, it just makes you much more stronger, for sure. And with that said, my feelings are always up as a parent, and I'm proud of who I am and what I do for my family. And at times I have to put my feelings and emotions aside and act with my cold feet. But as I'm grounded to my values and to my morals and to my way of thinking and my way of life, I also have to consider other people's points of view and or my priorities or my job or other people's thoughts. So therefore, I put my feelings aside, and then I also think about what's going on around me, and then I also assess as to, okay, they have a point, or they brought up something that I didn't know. So I give in, but I'm open to also criticize and say, no, that's not for me, or that's not for us. So that's when it comes to feelings. And my experience as a parent presently, things have worked out, and I've worked very efficient and fast in putting myself up for a major I guess you can say success. But I think that word is can be substituted for setting myself up 10 steps ahead. And you need to do that as a parent once you become a parent, because it's not about, again, you or I. It's about us, we, the collective, and us as all of us. And so if you do have a hard time with this, whether if it's you spending your money and being selfish, or whether if it's you not uh, being conscious of what your spouse or partner or significant other is telling you. Just listen to what the message is, analyze it, take a walk and write it down, and then look at yourself in the mirror and then repeat yourself, or repeat your answer, and think about it. This might help you unlock that area where you need to grow a little more, and assess yourself a little more. And remember, it's not something personal against you. It's just a a place and time where you can actually find a point where you can grow. And not a lot of people want to grow, not a lot of people want change, not a lot of people want to let go of the I and the me. And so if you understand what I mean, I think by now you will experience that. But if you don't, and you're single and you are not with a loved one, you don't know what it is to be a parent, soon you will. And I can guarantee you that these words will definitely be of enrichment to you, and will help you excel as to what you're doing as a parent, and reconfirm that what we are out here doing as parents, it's major. It's a big thing. It's a big thing because you're collaborating for the community, for life, for society, for your organization, for your job, and for who you are as an individual and what you partake in this world. So with that said, I'll gonna just leave it at that. I love you. Big hugs. Without a mask, kisses, and we're getting towards the bottom of this together. So once again, that's the 4th month, and we'll go from here until the 5th month for next week, God willing. We'll see you soon. Hope that you subscribe, and again, once we get through this hump, which is the 5th month, and to the 6th month, then I'll be able to start vlogging and posting as I normally do on Instagram, and also through this channel. So look forward to making this progress happen, and it's happening, and it's coming fast. So love you once again. Stay safe out there, and peace.